Ladies and gentlemen, this is the National Intel Report. I'm your host, John Stadtmiller, with you on this Wednesday, 5th of February, 2014. Got a call earlier today from a friend of mine, John, that last time I saw him up in Dallas is when Ron Paul was giving a speech up there. And he's a videographer and a reporter, and, well, he does a lot of stuff and spreads it around. Well, he was telling me about trying to cover at the Dallas City Council the activists for truth people that were there hammering the city council on the wonderful stuff that they put in our drinking water, namely fluoride. And he was told by an individual there, an official, "Are you with the media?" And he said, "Well, yeah." Well, if you're not with the approved media, in other words, if you're not part of the 6 corporations that own and run the news, and they will tell you what they want you to know and how you know it, what you know and how you know, they will frame it for you. There's no debate on this. It is a immutable fact. That's why we're here, because they're not doing their job. He put me in contact with Regina Imburgia. I think I got that correct. Is that right, Regina?
That is perfect. You did a wonderful job.
Okay. Now, Activists for Truth, you were, I want to invite people to go to the website, Activists for Truth, just like it sounds, .com. And you guys have been doing a lot of things. You've had a lot of people come into your group. You've done a lot of things to bring awareness. And what do you think, your fluoride deal, I want you to go into that a little bit. This is an example of what people can do. If you're not doing anything in your neck of the woods, pick a topic and go after your city council, for God's sakes. It's a good exercise in activism, and it keeps your blood flowing, and it keeps you involved. There's something else, Regina, that you told me prior to the broadcast today, that you've been having a lot of success with this fluoride issue, even if you've got lefties out there or righties, neocons or Obamacons. I don't know what you call them, but this has nothing to do with a political affiliation, and you're drawing strength from everybody on this fluoride issue, correct?
Yes, sir. That is exactly why we picked it. There were twofold reason why we attacked this. And, we started our group in May of 2012. And as we got closer to November, we started formulating what we were doing and why we were doing it. And, of course, we've all heard that, you can affect things better at your local level. But of our group that meets, and we have between 15 and 35 people every week that come, and it's a larger group, but those are the ones that show up semi-regularly. We realized very few of us have ever even seen the inside of a city council chambers, including myself. So we wanted to get our feet wet, no pun intended, but we did pick fluoride because it transcends every religious concept, or it's a health issue, and it is just so blatantly bad. There is nothing good about fluoride in the water, and tons of things that are bad, that you can appeal to people in so many areas. People with children, and they worry about the kids getting the fluoride with the dosing, and it's not political. It's not whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or whatever. So it worked. It really worked in pulling people together. The environmental people are against it. They may want to attack it differently, thinking that we should have more regulation and getting the government involved. But again, on this particular EPA-ish type issue, if all they need to do is stop it, they just need to stop putting it in the water. So it's really quite simple.
Well, this has been going on. You made mention to me that they did this back in the 60s, and it's been 50 years. Those that probably voted on its approval are probably pretty much dead and, gone from
or moved away.
Yeah, or moved away. And what kind of response? How many times have you been in front of that council, and what kind of response you getting from them?
Well, the first time we went, 9 of us went, but there is a lot of different criteria. I do not know if it's the same in all cities. I'm sure they must have guidelines in every city. In Dallas, you can't have more than 5 people speaking on a subject. So even though 9 of us went, 5 of us were slated to speak. We didn't understand that you wait until all the agenda items are over, so they tell you should be there at 1, and we didn't start speaking until after 4:30. So we lost 1 or 2 of our people that had to go pick kids up from school or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that time we spoke. 3 of us, I think, actually got in front of the camera, in front of the mayor. And basically what they said was their contract with buying the fluoride would be up in the 4th quarter of this year, 2014. We went on December 11th. So they said in the 4th quarter of 2014 is when the contract would be coming up. But that doesn't make a difference to us, you know. Your contract's not up. We vote this out. You just stop it when it's decided to stop it, you know. So we talked a little more, and we found out more details about timing, because if you go in the morning, you don't have to wait all day long. You know you're going to speak between 9 and 9:30. We did a few more things professionally this time, I guess you'd say. We timed our speeches to make sure that it was only 3 minutes and not longer. And I think it was effective. They listened. Actually, one of the things I said while I was talking, I said, please give us your attention, you know. And I had heard a trick from someone else, even though you have 3 minutes, stopping and even making the statement, this is important what I have to say, please listen. Because one of the things we all are surprised about is they don't pay attention a lot. They're talking, they're eating, they're passing notes, you know. And I didn't want it to seem as ineffective as it was the first time. So this time they did pay more attention. So, and we were back for the second time, and I stated that in the beginning sentence was, we're back again, and this is our mission, and we are going to prevail with this. So now, I think it got their attention.
Now, you've been up in front of them twice. A third time coming up?
Yes, sir. Today we had 5 people scheduled to speak, yet one is speaking this afternoon by himself, and I'm not sure how that's going, but I hope well. And the other 2 got bumped to next Wednesday. So we'll be back there next Wednesday to support those 2 in the morning, and then I plan on going. In the afternoon, you can go several times in a month. If you have the morning slot, you can only come back. You can only be there once. You see how there's a lot of protocol to all this? You can only go once in the morning in a 30-day period. So, but we're going to keep on it. We're going to, now that we've made it very obvious, we've got YouTubes, and we're going to be, are you there?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got quiet for a minute. And you know, and they do film this, and so we're going to just keep blasting our 3 minutes out there. And then when we're going to approach them individually also, go and make appointments with them.
All right, hang on a second. I've got to take this break. We're talking with Regina Imbruglia. I think I got that right a second time. The website, activistfortruth.com. You may want to try to pattern yourself. If you don't know how to do this, you may want to ask for a little bit of advice. And get active. It's good for the circulation, good for the soul, makes you sleep better at night as well.
Thousands of years, silver has been used as both a medicine and a preservative. But not all silver is equal. Supernatural silver is an amazing new technology that has been clinically shown to be several hundred times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. Supernatural silver resonates at the same frequency as germicidal light used in labs to kill bacteria and viruses. Supernatural silver is a broad-spectrum microbial that creates no resistance and does not harm beneficial bacteria, making it ideal for daily use. It can be used internally as well as topically and is highly effective against bacteria, viruses, molds, and yeast. Supernatural silver liquid and gel are perfect for on-the-go or emergency preparedness and can provide protection at home, school, or work. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and remember the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance.
The IRS is a private corporation, not a government agency. Income tax is collected by voluntary compliance. To learn to unvolunteer or discontinue volunteering into the IRS, visit escapeharassment.com and immediately implement Strategy 1. The process must be repeated each and every time. Paper, letter, envelope, presentment, etc. Always and forever. Failure equates to acceptance, subsequent resultant contract, and you pay or go to jail by your own consent and agreement contract. Avoid recontracting. Visit escapeharassment.com and implement Strategy 1 immediately. Bar lawyers and accountants won't help you. Why wait? Get Strategy 1 and immediately implement it to divorce the IRS today and forever. That's escapeharassment.com, Strategy 1, to be free from the IRS. Escapeharassment.com.
That moment of panic, sheer terror, really. You're afraid to answer the phone, frightened by who might be at the door. If you're facing foreclosure or being harassed by debt collectors, you know the feeling. You need to visit whatliesInYourDebt.com to turn the tables on the banksters, collection agencies, and other crooks. WhatLiesInYourDebt.com has solutions. WhatLiesInYourDebt.com features live training webinars from experts, a member forum, support from experts who've been where you are right now and came out the other side in a better financial situation. If you are like millions of Americans who are behind on their mortgage, behind on their credit cards, or just being harassed by debt collectors, then this system is for you. We promise. If you cannot stop your foreclosure, even if it's imminent, if you cannot stop those debt collectors from bugging you, if you cannot clean up your credit, and finally, if you cannot make a few $1,000s during the entire process, make money from the debt collectors, yes, at WhatLiesInYourDebt.com, we will refund your money 100% in the first 60 days. Don't fear the bill collectors anymore. Visit WhatLiesInYourDebt.com.
Get ready for Real Talk Radio. You're listening to the National Intel Report with your host, John Stadtmiller.
Activists for Truth, their mission, it's one sentence. How easy does that get? An umbrella organization to unite liberty lovers to push back. You know, on yesterday's program, Regina, I had a caller that called in. He's a farmer in Missouri, and I was talking about for almost damn near 2 hours, GMO foods.
Right.
And he called in and he said that, he says, we got a co-op down here, and he says every once in a while I'll stop in there. He said, you can't even buy non-GMO seed. It doesn't matter. They just don't sell it. And he lodged a complaint that, they think I'm a wingnut. They don't want to hear what I have to say. And I said, well, why don't you switch up your approach? If you were to ask these guys, these farmers, these dealers of the GMO death, if somebody did something that harmed one of your children, would you want to know about it? If it harmed one of your children, say they got cancerous tumors and it ended up killing them, wouldn't you want to know about it so you could possibly stop it? And it was the same, I had the same thing in mind talking to you today that I was relaying to this individual yesterday. When you went out on the fluoride issue, you didn't go out as a right-wing extremist group or Obama left-wingers. You went out non-politically, non-party affiliated to tackle a problem. Now, I'll give folks a classic example on this one. What is a uniter? Well, it's it depends on your subject matter. I can remember a guy by the name of Ron Paul from Texas that was pulling people from the Obama camp, the Hillary Clinton camp. Didn't matter. Didn't matter the political stripe. What resonated with these people was freedom. Freedom and liberty, because they felt that it was being threatened, and that was a uniter. That was pulling people from other different walks of life, parties, you name it. And yeah, we can unite around freedom and liberty. What a great thing to fight for.
Amen. That's right.
Yeah, so it depends on how you approach this. If you try to approach political groups and you identify yourself as being whatever, chances are you're going to the off button is going to be